Hello everybody, my name is Shortline614. Welcome to episode 13 of Shortline Space Program. Hopefully this episode will go better than the Apollo mission of the same number. So in the last episode we tested out our Nerva tug and we brought out two massive fuel tankers to Minmus to begin Challenger Station. Challenger Station, of course, is our Minmus station, which is going to be home to a large refining operation. And well, today we are launching the two main truss segments. Going to have two main truss segments, and we're going to be launching them to Challenger Station, to Columbia Station, I mean, and then we'll put them on back the Nerva tug, and they will sent out to Minmus. I had to compress about 4 hours worth of footage into about 15 minutes, so this video is heavily edited. Plus, you've all seen this before, you know, launching, docking, rendezvous, all that kind of cool stuff. So, so I get out, and I get the small space construction vehicle, space tug out, and I'm going to go ahead and dock it to the truss. And then we're going to stick those truss on the side, and we're going to dock this, and we're going to dock one of the power trusses. And then the next episode, we'll attach them to the back of the Nerva tug, and we'll bring them out to Minmus to form the backbone of Challenger Station. You may notice that this tug actually has two RCS or SAS modules on there. They also each have Sepatrons, so they can go ahead and deorbit afterwards. That's because when I was originally assembling Columbia Station, I had a bit of trouble maneuvering the tugs, the truss segments into their proper places. So that was just there to kind of, help. We'll go ahead and deorbit those after we're done. And there we go. As you can see, we're gonna just put it right over there for now. And obviously, the magic 4x speed. This is going a lot smoother than than it actually took in real life. This was a rather tedious docking, especially when you try and dock these large payloads like this, these large craft together. So, there we go, just try and maneuver in properly, and then I thrust my RCS forwards, and we go ahead and we dock. And, there we go, all lined up. Not that it really needs to be all lined up. And I go ahead and I deploy the solar panels on that. There is one solar panel, which you can see that I couldn't deploy because it would interfere with the other ones. But it is time to ditch these SAS modules. As you can see, they have probe core, there's an SAS glitch into them, and then they have the Sepatrons, which are there for deorbiting. So, there we go, and that's the first one, and then the second one will leave as well. At this point I was kind of afraid it would actually hit something, so I kind of warped out of the way. And there that goes. And of course there is still, we have to reposition this tug because the other truss segment that we're going to send out there is obviously going to go over there, dock to that port. Something that I probably should have done is I probably should have changed the color of those plates to kind of distinguish each station from one another. I don't know, that's something cool that I probably would do if I redid this all over again. But you've seen this before, just, repositioning the space tug, all that stuff. The space construction vehicle. Obviously, this is a lot smaller, so I don't have to be as precise with the docking. As you can see, I go ahead and deploy those solar panels, and I can't deploy one because it would glitch into the main one on the station, so that's going to remain... That's going to remain in that position for now until we get it out to Minmus, or whenever this detaches. Which should be in the next episode. But, that's the station right now. Of course, we still have this tug up here, this Chesapeake Upper Stage tug, that needs to go and dock to the station because it has precious fuel. We're also going to be sending out one of those tugs to the one with the skipper engine, the upper stage engine. We're going to be sending that out to Minmus after this, because Each station I build has to have 2 tugs, so one can go and do a mission, while the other, can go and fetch it. And just quick rendezvous, you know. Another thing that I probably could have cut out, but oops, it's a bit too late for that. And I just go ahead and I dock it. Decide to dock it on the end with all the other tugs. So we have 4 tugs attached to the station. Although one of those, the one with the skipper, will be leaving. It'll be leaving for Minmus. Not Minmus. Yeah, I'll be leaving for Minmus very soon. Why did I think it was the Mun? Eh, it's fine. And we go ahead and we maneuver in and standard stuff like that. Now, I do want to get Challenger Station to the point where it will be starting to produce fuel. So the next, after we send these out there, the next flight will probably be sending up the refinery and the lander. And then we can go and do other things, maybe. Or we'll continue to assemble the station, because I want to put a small base on Minmus. But, there we go, that's the, I guess, Challenger Assembly Flight 1 done. Well, we sent one of the trusses up to the station, obviously. We're going to wait for the other one before we send it out to Minmus. But, something that is going to go out to Minmus right now is this small tug. And, as I said, each station needs to have 2 tugs, so one can go fetch the other in case it gets stranded. But it'll now depart the Challenger Station or Columbia Station, never to return. Who knows? It might return sometime in the future. And we begin our trans-Minmus injection. You know, going out, burning our fuel all the way out to Minmus and, getting an encounter. That would actually bring us past the Mun. Which is, that is rather nice. There's the Mun right there. And then we warp up to Minmus. I get in kind of a weird orbit. And this is going to be going, obviously, to Challenger Station. Although Challenger Station will be doubling in size very soon. It'll just continue to grow. I think it's actually going to take more flights to assemble Challenger Station than it did for Columbia Station, which, I mean, that's fine, but Challenger Station is, it's going to be a complicated piece of machinery, of course. And we just get into a proper orbit around Minmus, and as I keep saying, Minmus is a small enough body that it really doesn't, small enough moon that you don't have to do as precise movements if you're around, say, Kerbin or the Mun, for example. So I don't actually have to burn a whole lot to get even a sloppy encounter like that. It's still like 4 kilometers away, which, oh, there we go, 5.7 kilometers. Which is all fine and good. And just start to go relatively towards the target, and we're gonna take up all the docking ports on Challenger Station so far. Which I mean, there's only one open, but once we get those 2 truss segments out there, there'll certainly be more docking ports for craft and modules and whatnot in the future. So I just stopping and bringing this down, docking it to Challenger Station's orbital construction tug, or whatever you want to call that. Space construction vehicle. And we stop, and there we go. We burn in. And there we go. Nice docking right there. And there we go. So both are docked. I go ahead and disable it and whatnot, put it into hibernation, and that's Challenger Station so far. But we still need to launch the second truss segment up to Columbia Station for Challenger Station, which is the the solar power truss, which we launched one of those for Columbia Station in Episode 1 and Episode 2. Which, that's very, very nice. And, you know, I just cut right to the rendezvous, because you've seen that before. And this isn't actually going to use the space tug. This is actually going to come in all by itself, which, as you can see, the SAS module, instead of there being two on the sides, there's a one very conveniently placed up top. And we did bring up another tug to replace the one that we flew out to Minmus, so there'll be four of them. Those mainsail Chesapeake upper stage tugs. And this is going to be maneuvering in by itself. I did have a bit... It probably would have been easier if I got the orbital construction vehicle to actually come out and help it, but there's a reason why this has RCS. And come in, we're going to dock right there. Assembling a space station on a space station. So something pretty interesting, something pretty epic. Something that I've never done before, until now. And, I reorientate the station to get into the right position, which would make it easier to dock. And then I slowly start to use the RCS to, try and, align myself so I can just go in very smoothly by itself. And, dock even at 4 times speed, this, looks rather tedious, but I have to be careful about these things, because these things are never going to undock from each other again, so I want to get them aligned perfectly. You know, I don't want one all crooked compared to the other, because, you know, that wouldn't be nice. And, I come in at a kind of weird angle, and there we go, and, it is all docked perfectly. And of course we still have this tug, which luckily hasn't floated away from the station too far. It was only about a kilometer out. And no, just coming in and docking correctly. No, just going to that, just selecting a random port on that area. And, so yeah, 4 tugs. I have no clue what we're going to be doing for these, but it is, I guess they can act as extra fuel storage. You know, it never hurts to have too much fuel. I know there are probably situations where, oh, in this case, if you have too much fuel, then... Yeah, you get my point. On a station like this, you want all the fuel you can get. Although we haven't actually used a whole lot of the fuel from it yet. But there we go. There's the, that docked, and now it's time to discard this, this little SAS module, attachment module thing. And, this will go and, meet its fiery demise. It actually does survive re-entry, which, I mean, that's all fine and good, but then it just kind of fumbles around in the sky and lands in the middle of the ocean, you know, gets destroyed, whatnot. But that's not the last thing to do. If you remember, last episode when we brought our first Chesapeake upper stage tug, it brought one of the adapters. So that's another thing that we're going to do. We're going to bring one of the adapters that's currently on Columbia Station to Challenger Station. And I'm using my small orbital construction vehicle to actually go ahead and reposition it onto one of the sides of the... not in any particular position, just positioning onto one of the sides of the truss. So there we go. We go ahead and dock, and then we undock. Of course, in real life, you would have something like the space station arm, a robotic arm, and do something like this. But robotic arms aren't an easy thing to actually do in Kerbal Space Program for construction like this. I'm pretty sure that some people have done something like that, but There's a... I know the robotic arm of the space station is on kind of a rail system, which allows it to traverse like that, but Kerbal Space Program, we unfortunately don't have one of those, at least one that works as easy as, you know, you could probably make something using, like, Kraken tech, but that's all fine and good. This obviously comes back in and it docks and whatnot, but and then we just go ahead and we reposition that back to its original docking port. This was kind of hard to control due to how small it is, but anyways, that's mostly it for this episode. Join us in the next episode where we'll actually send these two truss segments out to Minmus to form the backbone of Challenger Station. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me what you think. I do live stream on YouTube and Twitch various games often enough. And join my Discord server. Thank you for watching Shortline Space Program, and we'll end on the shot of Columbia Station, probably in the biggest configuration that we'll ever get. Those two truss segments will obviously be going out in the next episode. Goodbye, everybody.